Hello, Deer Creek Prayer Team. It's Amy. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Amy Pastoor. I'm helping Daniel with the administrative side of the prayer team. And we have a few changes and reminders that we just want to go over real quick with you. For those of you who couldn't make it to the prayer breakfast a couple of weeks ago. For those of you who could make it, we thank you so much. And this is just a way to get everybody on the same page. So starting off with the changes that we're making, we recognize, and the staff here at Deer Creek recognize, that it's difficult for people to cross that barrier to come up to the front of the church to pray with a perfect stranger. And we know that not many people are willing to cross that barrier. So in efforts to sort of change that a little bit and make it easier for people to approach the prayer team for prayer, we're not going to meet in the front of the sanctuary anymore. We're actually going to meet in the wings of the sanctuary. So as you're looking to the stage from the seats that you sit in during the service, the left side and the right side, over in that sort of dead space where there's no chairs, and over by the windows is where we're going to meet for prayer. So as you stand up at the end of the service and sort of break off, just make sure that there's at least one person in each wing. And another change that we're making, and because sometimes people don't come up for prayer, so that your time is valued, we want you all to feel empowered to go ahead after 5 or so minutes of waiting. If nobody approaches you for prayer, go ahead and gather as a team, everybody who isn't already praying for someone, and go ahead and pray for various other and current things that are going on in the life of the church. Some examples would be that the sermon that was just preached would be convicting, but also that there would be immense encouragement in the message of the gospel that the staff tries to give every week. And for Elevate Hope, our church plant that's going into Centennial, that's in much need of prayer. Just for the staff, there's lots of logistics to figure out in a church plant. For the evangelism opportunities for the church as a whole, and for small groups, and for individuals, and for the current events of the church. A recent example will be Easter. There's a lot of logistics, just like there are for the Elevate Hope plant. Just be in continual prayer for our staff would be a great thing to do every week for the people who don't have people approaching them for prayer personally. And then the reminders that Daniel and I want to give you are that Deer Creek and the staff here are mandatory reporters. So anybody who may approach you for prayer about wanting to harm themselves, or if they're being harmed by someone else, those are things that we are required by law to report. So if you are encountered by anyone with that prayer request, pray with them and be gentle and sensitive, but also please let Daniel and I know right away so that we can get the appropriate avenues of reporting started so that that person and that individual remains safe and with us. And then the next reminder is that we often will get prayers for prayer requests for healing. And not only are we to pray for healing because they approach us, God commands us to pray for healing, and God does heal. We just want to be bold, wise, and sensitive when we are approached with that prayer request. We want to pray boldly for that person's healing, but we also want to be wise and sensitive to the person that we're praying for. We know that pain and discomfort is very emotional, and we want to make sure that we're ministering to them. And so one of the ways that we can minister to them is to pray wisely. And so we want to be praying for healing, not for more faith, because the Bible teaches us that God heals, but it is not the amount of our faith that results in healing. And so with those reminders and those changes, I want you to just know how much we appreciate you on the prayer team, and we are so glad that you're a part of this team. I hope everybody has an amazing time of this Easter holiday, and I'm praying for blessings on all of you, and thank you so much for being a part of the prayer team.